Well, hello, and this is my first 2 Cent Wednesday. Yay! My name is Renita, and I'm the creator of Be Your Own Kind. I usually do a Friday live, but I was looking at my QuickBooks and how much I paid for StreamYard. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stream at least twice to get my money's worth. So, 2 Cent Wednesday is where we randomly just talk about topics that I've seen trending around the web. This is normally what I do anyway. So just doing it with company, I guess. Before we start, please follow or subscribe depending on what platform you are on. Also, this is a free space. You are free to be as transparent as possible. You're welcome to express your opinion, but please do it respectfully. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit to see if anyone's gonna join me. Meanwhile, let me put the link for you to join in the comment box. Here we go. And I won't hold too much of your time today because this is my first one. So I'm super excited. Got to start somewhere, so I'm starting today. Okay, so let me find my screen. Oh, there we go. All right, I want the screen bigger than me, or I can just possibly have it like this. You don't have to see me at all. Which one? I guess I'll be over here in a little bit. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was the SaVage Fenty fashion show. Like, it was super dope. Like, I am super in love with Rihanna anyway. And one day she would grace us with an album, but right now that's not what she on. She is on getting her money and I think she's doing the skincare, she's doing the lingerie, and I'm here for all of it. So if you've seen it, you know that it's on Amazon Prime, and I just loved all the different looks on there. So I just wanted to share some of the looks and the people that were on there. If you haven't seen it, please view it. Then we see this is Rihanna here as a lovely flower. Then this is a weird little thing right there. These are some models. It says Rosalina. I don't know who she is. I know that she sung in Spanish and it was beautiful. And this is Car. I don't know who she is either, but she was stunning. We all know Miss Normani. I didn't know anything about Normani until I think it was what is it? The basketball thing? Is it the All-Stars? The All-Stars. That's when I found out about Normani. Oh, hey, Chris, it was amazing. Yes, she did. That's what I liked about it. I like that she included all body types. Like, for instance, Miss Lizzo here. Like, I love that she included her. And Lizzo was getting it. Like, she was getting it to D'Angelo Brown Sugar. Like, she was killing the game. People get on Lizzo, but Lizzo love Lizzo, and that's what it's about. Then we have here Laura Harrier. I don't know who she is, but she's stunning, simply stunning. Then we have Big Sean here. I know my sister used to love Big Sean a lot. And Paris Hilton, the funny thing is, I didn't even know that this was her. Like, I had to take a double look, and I'm like, man, Paris Hilton looks amazing. And then India Moore. Now, she's on Pose. I don't know if you guys watch that show. It's on FX, and she is just stunning anyway. So I just loved her look. I have no idea, but my husband says this is a DJ Mustard. Ella Mai, I love her. I wish she'd come out with a new album. Then we have Roddy Ricch, Bad Bunny. Willow killed it too. She's just absolutely stunning. And then some other people that I don't know, but they all were freaking stunning. They're in the sweatshop. Miguel, he was really getting it. He was in the space of his own, like, for real. And Travis Scott at the end. I don't know. Travis Scott kind of scared me a little bit. Like, he got a vibe, and he be in his own vibe, but I think he still did a really good job. Demi Moore looks absolutely amazing. I don't even know how old she is, but she looks absolutely amazing. And then we have Rico Nasty, who I have no idea who she is. But look at this. Look at this inclusivity. Like, look at this. This is America. This is America. And that's what I loved about the fashion show. This is America for real. So I feel like Rihanna killed it. This is Christian Combs, who I had no idea that was him. And I have no idea who he is, but he was getting it. So if you've seen it, what did you think about the fashion show? It was quick and to the point. It wasn't long-winded. It was just stunning. Like, the entire thing was just stunning. Now, I know that she got some pushback because I believe she used a song that belonged to the Muslim culture, and they weren't too happy about that. And I know on Instagram she did like a 4-page apology, saying that, you know, she should have known better and should have did her research, but they better leave Rihanna alone. I'm glad that she did apologize though. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I had my links ready so I wouldn't be trying to figure it out. This will not stop. So let me go here. Oh my God, did I not hit copy? Okay. So this is going to be really quick. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Schitt's Creek, but it's really funny. Basically, it's about a rich family that just turned broke, and so they ended up living in a hotel, and I think they ended up buying the hotel, and I don't know how 6 years later that they're still in this hotel, but I think I watched it up until second season. So when I saw this, I'm like, man, I need to catch up on this because this is a really, really funny, like absolutely funny show. So it is supposed to air. Oh, it's already on Netflix on October 3rd. So if you're a Schitt's Creek person, check it out, you know. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about Normani here. Just wanted to show you her stunning looks. Like, I think Normani is stunning. Like I said, I wish, oh no, it's not here. I wish that she would come out with a video or an album or something. Like, she normally just does cameos all the time, but I think that she's just super stunning. She was on a group, and I have no idea what group it is. Like I said, I only saw her on All Star, but I know that she's always giving us look at this. She's always giving us face. Look at these gloves. Absolutely adorable. It makes the crafter in me wants to make some. You know what? I may actually make some, you know. So I just hope that, you know, I don't want to get into her article, but I just hope that, you know, eventually she does, you know, release her album. I think she's just nervous and she wants to live up to the hype. So I think that's why it's taking her so long to release her album. But she's just absolutely beautiful, and she can dance and she can sing. So I saw that on this YouTube channel, Black Femininity, I think is the name of it. And she really did a rundown on Normani. So you should just check that out. Basically, if you just put Normani in there, she should pop up on YouTube. Let me see if I can find her name right quick. Let's see. Because I can't say the word Femi. There we go. This is a dope YouTube channel. Get into it. And so she has like, she pretty much talks about all Black culture, everything. So I know that she did one with Normani, and now I cannot find it. It should have, yeah, this is not the right one. But anyway, if you search her videos, you should find it. It was a really good explanation of who Normani actually is. So I was just super excited. I'm super excited for her future. I just would like to see, you know, see her in action, you know. So next thing. All right. So these ads are ridiculous. So tyrabanks apparently Steve Harvey performed as Steve Harvey on the Dancing with the Stars. I don't really watch the Dancing with the Stars, and I further didn't watch it when I found out like the Tiger King, what's her name, Cheryl, the Tiger lady, was on there, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely not watching that. But let me see if I can go towards the end, because I saw the video yesterday. So it was toward the end. No need for us to watch all of this.
The next safe couple is
First of all, let's backtrack. Why does Nelly look like he don't want to be there? Like, you're right, Kristen Carol Baskin. I couldn't think of her name. The one who allegedly killed her husband and fed him to cats. I don't know. It's pretty believable, but it's allegedly. So if you look right here in Nelly's face, let me see if I can extend this. He looks like he doesn't want to be here, like at all. Like even he won and she's all on him, like super excited, and he's just like, I just want to get this over with. This is a paycheck. Like I thought like Nelly's face was so hilarious. Let's go back because I want to harp on this for a minute because why not? So let's go.
Nelly and Daniela.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his reaction. He just want to walk off.
Which means Anne and Keo and Vernon and Peter.
I don't think he wants to be there at all.
There's actually been an error. I'm looking right now, and we have.
Oh, so this couples. Is the error.
So we need to clarify this for 1 second. The bottom two couples are Anne and Keo, and Monica and Val. Please come back. Please have Monica come back.
So a couple had to come back.
Control room, but we're making it happen. This is live TV, right? This is the craziness of live TV.
Nobody's infallible, you know. I'm sorry, guys. You know, things. It's happened in the UK.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
That really sucks.
This is live TV. I was reading my.
That really sucks. Like when you think you win something and you don't.
Again, it's going to be up to the judges to save one of these couples.
Tyra looks really different. I don't know what it is, but she looks really different.
The judges are divided. The third judge will cast the deciding vote.
Okay, so.
And again, we apologize for this. This is live TV, and we're all human. Okay, it's time for the judges.
So there were like conspiracy theories saying that she was sabotaged and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, could it just be she got the wrong car? Like, why does everything have to be a conspiracy theory? So she apologized, but I just kind of then they kind of blamed it on the control room, but it wasn't a big deal, but everybody made it a big deal. I think that it's a big deal because when you think you win something and then come to find out you didn't. To make a long story short, that couple still, made it to the next round or whatever, but I thought it was kind of I actually wanted to watch it for Nelly's reaction because I thought that was hilarious. I don't know. It just feels like Nelly don't want to be there at all. So let's go to the next topic. All right. So yes, Trump is on his Trump self. Like he's a whole mood, a whole verb. So now he is ending COVID-19 relief negotiations, which means he is stalling the stimulus. Like I don't know if there's an update on this. Let me see if there's a possible update on this, but he wants to talk about this after election. So basically I feel like he's dangling this in front of the voters head to get more votes, because it's like, oh, if I vote for him then we can get the stimulus, so I don't know what his reasoning was. Let me see. It says that President Trump says he's instructed aides to stop negotiating on a coronavirus aid plan until after the election. Trump's announcement comes as Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell warns the recovery could falter without more federal stimulus. So, Trump doesn't really care, if people have the money or not. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to hold this until after the election. So it's like, okay, so whether you win or not, like I feel like if Biden win, will he still do this? Because what makes me nervous when a president is not reelected on their first term is that they have this extra time, right, to just pass any law that they want. Like they like, do they really care? It's kind of like your 2 weeks notice. Like you give your 2 weeks notice. Do you really give that same concern and care on your job, knowing that you're about to be, about to be off the job? So it makes me nervous if he's not reelected. It makes me nervous if he is reelected. I don't know. This is just crazy. Like this is just a crazy time. Like 2020 is just absolutely insane. Like every day I wake up, I feel like I'm in a reality TV show, like for real, a reality TV show. So These ads are driving me mad. So he reported this yesterday. So I looked up stuff from yesterday. So it's saying the collapse means that Trump and down ballot Republicans will face re-election without delivering aid to voters, such as $1,200 direct payments or Trump checks to most individuals, even as the national jobless rate is about 8%, with millions facing the threat of eviction. One endangered Republican Maine Senator Susan Collins says waiting until after the election to reach an agreement on the COVID-19 relief package is a huge mistake. Former Vice President Joe Biden slammed Trump's move, surprisingly. Make no mistake, if you are out of work, if your business is closed, if your child's school is shut down, if you are seeing layoffs in your community, Donald Trump decided today that none of it matters to him, Biden said in the statement. And that is how I feel. Like, what about those that actually need the money? So it's like you're going to hold this and you're going to dangle this as, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's his end game with this. Like, do we ever know his end game? So I don't really know. Like, I feel like he know how helpful it was, and he know that people need it, and the unemployment rate is just skyrocketing. And then with the fact that kids are in school now, it feel like the parents have to pay for someone to sit with their kid and homeschool them so they can go to work, or they have to quit their job or rearrange their schedule just to make sure that their kid is getting homeschooled properly and they're getting, because now they're a teacher, so. And you're right, Kristen. I mean, do we really know his end game? Do we know his end game? Like, he tries to make it seem like he's clarifying his end game, but it changed. I feel like the whole agenda is how he feels that day, that hour, that minute. Like, that's how I feel about him. That's why I said, like, I'm nervous if he's reelected, and I'm nervous if he's not, because that couple of grace period before, the if Biden does win and he swear in, we still got that amount of time with the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he can really do some stuff, so I don't know. It just makes me like super nervous. So what do you think about it, Chris? And while we're doing that one, so I thought this, because that is such a, and the rest of the topics are probably not that happy. I wanted to start off light and then go a little deeper. But before we get into that, I'm following this lady on Twitter. She's called the fatgirloffashion.com, and I think she's just amazing. It's pretty much a fashion block. Oh, that's what you think, we ain't getting a stimulus? No. And I almost feel like we kind of knew that, right? Because I remember us having conversations that they kept pushing back the deadline. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of assumed that it wasn't going to happen anyway. So I don't know if it's better to know it's not going to come, or to think that, people are going to receive this relief stimulus, in hopes of getting it, and they're not. Like, I don't know, but I feel like this is still some type of election tactic. Like, I honestly do feel like it's an election. Right. They've been playing around for too long. Like, the first set of stimulus, it came right away, sort of. I know. I think mine came like 2 or 3 months later, but my whole thing is they had the set of dates. The first set of people got theirs. Second set of people, on and on and on. They got theirs. All you had to do was fill out on the site. Some people didn't even fill out on the website and got it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So when it comes to now, I have a lot of uncertainties in this year in life, so I just honestly don't know. Excuse me. All right. So right quick. Oh, let me see. He feels like people will vote for him just because they want the right. That's what I think. I feel like it's an election tactic. Like, I honestly feel like it's an election tactic. Not a doubt in my mind, but I'm trying to figure out, will people buy into that? Because now he has, mind you, he's sick with COVID-19. So you would think, but then he doesn't have that same social status. He doesn't have to worry about unemployment. He doesn't have to worry about, I guess he does if he don't win the election, but he's still Trump. He's always employed. He doesn't have to worry about money, day-to-day stuff that, we have to worry about. And I think that's the one thing that kind of irks me about about elections and things like that and politics, which is why I've never been a true follower of her, because it's just like, and I know I should, and I do vote, but it's like, are they really making laws to make it better for us, you know? And then during election time, are they just pandering to get our vote? But is our voice really heard? You know, the only voice we have is our vote. And we have to just cross our fingers and hope that the candidate is going to do what they say. Now, I mean, unfortunately, Trump did do some things that he said he was going to do in the election, but that's scary stuff. I'm talking about stuff that actually help people, you know? So I don't know. It's either you want Trump or Biden, you know? So just go vote no matter how you feel, because that's our voice, you know? That's our voice. So this is really quick. This is 5 affirmations for dark-skinned women and girls. I like this. You know, I think affirmations are super cool. So I just wanted to go through one. Number 1, be yourself no matter what they say. And I believe there is a show on Lifetime that I still haven't seen yet that my sister told me to see. It was a documentary for the light-skinned girls and the dark-skinned girls. Either way, there are still prejudice either way. And it's not just an African-American community thing. It's in all different cultures, the colorism issue, which, you know, is sad. Like, okay, you can't control your shade of your skin, you know, when you're born. I think just so ridiculous, but I'm not going to get into that. So it's be yourself no matter what they say. You know, that's what Be Your Kind is all about. Just being you, you know. And that's what I love. Like, I have an upcoming podcast interview coming up next that I'm going to publish next week that I have with Devin Hall, and she really kind of making me rebrand myself, like, in my brand, because she was like, people want you. People want people that are okay with being them and making mistakes. Like, I'm trying to be a self-help, you know, personal development person, but it's like, or a platform, but it's like, when people see that, hey, you're not perfect and you're still trying, because development is all about trying. It's all about effort. You know, show people all of you, not just your, I guess, preachy side or whatever. So I don't know, that resonated with me since I've talked to her. I think the interview was like Monday. So I don't know. I just thank her for that. You have to check her out. She has a cool podcast too. It's called Uncomfortable Conversations, and it's on Spotify. So I'll post her up tomorrow on my site. So number 2, be so good they can't ignore me. So she says, don't give up on you. That's so important. That is so important. Even if, you know, no one is supporting you right now, or no one is purchasing your book, or no one is buying your product, or, you know, even with this platform, I chose to do it on these 3 sites and not Facebook, because people know me on Facebook, on YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Not too many people know who I am. So I wanted to build my platform. And that's a lot of fear, to sit here and possibly just talk to myself for an hour, you know. Thankfully my sister is here, but it's a lot, you know, to just sit here and just talk to yourself. But to me, it's like, it's practice. And I'm going to do each live like it's 10 people on the live, like it's 20 people on the live, and like it's thousands on the live, you know, because you're putting it out there. You know, you're not giving up on you. You know, it's like, if I be consistent, if I push out great content, if I'm genuine and I'm authentic, it will grow. And even if it don't grow to hundreds and thousands, at least I touch one person. You know, if we could just touch one person, you know, if we could just reach out to one person, that's enough. I don't need a multitude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's what my sister said. She was like, thanks, Chris. That's what my sister said. You just got to keep going. I just listened to a YouTuber today, and then I'll go to the next point. I just talked to but I just listened to a YouTuber today that said he used to only have like 5 people in his live, and now he has 300 in his live. You know, and he kept stopping and starting over, you know, and because he didn't think that, you know, people would listen to him, but he just kept going, and he just kept pushing out content, and he just kept sharing himself. That's the Wiley Show on YouTube, actually, who said that. So shout out to him, you know, and it's encouraging. It's encouraging to watch things like that, because we only see the end result of people's success. We don't see the beginning. We don't see, you know, when there was no one that knew who they were, you know, that you didn't see when they were broke, you know, or it is not even a money thing. You didn't see when they were defeated and they wanted to give up. and they thought that they weren't making a difference. We don't see that part. We just see the end result and be like, yes, I want to do this. And then when we start off and it's not as large as we think it is, then we want to quit. No, keep pushing it. Don't give up on you. I believe in me if nobody else believes in me. That's the type of attitude that we need to have. I believe in me. I'm great. I'm confident and I'm capable. So yeah. Look at me preaching. Then number 3, I'm doing what makes my soul happy. That's still a part of being you. If you're not giving up on you, if you believing in you, you're going to essentially do things that make you happy, and not in this physical realm. She said her soul. That means she has joy no matter what the situation is. I'm going to find happiness in it no matter what's going on. So I thought that also was super dope. And then 4, I'm gorgeous. No matter your color skin, no matter your weight, no matter your circumstance, no matter what people say to you, you're awesome. You're freaking dope. And walk around with that. Walk around with your head up high and look eye to eye. Look people eye to eye. You don't look down on no one. You're too great for that, And now I've made this all universal. But number 5 is right, Kristen, you're right. Always believe in yourself no matter what. No matter what people say. No matter what people think, just always believe in you. And then number 5 is skin so brown, light so round, baby, you want to be down. And she says, I'm a pretty face, my dark skin and full lips and everything that makes me loved. Remember, people are paying big dollars to look like you. Come on now. Dark-skinned women are the beauty standard. And also take a little time and enjoy the view in the mirror. We're all, we're just beautiful the way we are. Like I said, I know she centered this for dark-skinned women, but I'm just saying for all women, for every man, you're wonderful just the way you are, So I thought that was a really good, I went longer than I thought I would on that, but I just thought that was a really dope passage. So I wanted to share that. So I'm almost done. I got a couple more topics and then I'll let you go. And so the last 2 are not that fluffy. So at first I was like, should I start from rough to fluffy or fluffy to rough? So I thought that I would delve deep towards the end. So here we go. So So yes, Japan's lost generation is still jobless. Now, the lost generation in Japan, according to Google, is typically refers to people aged in their 20s and 30s living in Japan during the 1990s. The economic crisis of the 90s led Japan to commit to a great deal of restructuring of its economic and social system. So there's a lot of people in their 40s and 50s in Japan who, I may not say this correct, right? It's called hikikomori. And it's in here just so you can see what the word is. I don't know where it's at. Oh, there it is. Hikikomori. So she's saying that Japan has an estimated 613,000 middle-aged hikikomori, which is a term usually used to describe socially withdrawn adolescents who hole up in their beds, according to the results of a government survey released in March of last year. Among those in their early 40s, as many as 1 in 3 said they had become shut-ins because they had trouble finding or settling into a job after finishing school. And we think this is an American thing. These are people that from something that happened in the 90s, this generation is still suffering now. So imagine 40s and 50s is a time where you're settling in. If you already don't have kids, you're thinking about it, houses, investing. You're almost at retirement age at this point, So just imagine 613,000. Wow. And I looked up a consensus compared to the U.S. and a 2019 consensus reports that individuals that earn their bachelor's over the age of 25, their unemployment rate in the United States is only 3.7%, and those with an associate is only 3.5%. So we you don't really know what another country is going through. I thought it was kind of sad because these 40s and 50-year-olds are forced to live with their parents. They're very divorced. They're very downtrodden. You know what I'm saying? And even their mayor during that time, her name is Tomoko Nagagawa. I'm probably saying it wrong. She's 73 now. She says she regret not having done more to address the diminishing career prospects for this generation when she was a national lawmaker from 96 to 2003. And she said even her son and daughter, who are in their 40s, they're a part of this lost generation. They cannot find work. And she said she didn't see the essence of the problem. Like, I don't really know. Let me see what was the let's see, let's just do 1996 because that's what she was. I'm just curious. Oh my God, I need them not to give me a long thing. What important things happened in 1996? This is the United States. In Japan, man. In Japan. Did I put Japan? I'm not the best searcher. Okay. I'd have to research it. I didn't research exactly what actually happened in the 90s in Japan. And I'm also in Yahoo and not Google. Okay, that's why you go to Google. So it's saying in the 90s, Japanese economy suffered a prolonged recession that followed the collapse of the fabled economic bubble of the 80s. So this is a result of something that happened in the 80s. It says this stretch of economic stagnation, the lost decade, which we already know is the lost generation, finally ended in 2002. It had taken more than 10 years, punctuated with occasional false dawns, to pull up the economy. Some abrupt economic crisis outside Japan, including the Asian currency crisis in 97 and the Mexican default in 94, and two early exit strategies from revitalization efforts by government and Bank of Japan attributed some to the stagnation, especially in the late 90s. But those factors did not tell the whole story. The conventional wisdom is that two factors prevented the Japanese economy from getting out of the deep hole created by the bursting bubble. So we see that it was the recession. And then second, they said the business sector was plagued by three excesses: excess equipment, excess employment, and excess debt. These excesses indicated that the Japan business model had reached a dead end. Oh, wow. Until the burst of bubble, Japanese companies had emphasized expanding market share, diversifying their business, and maintaining employment rather than profitability. Then efficiencies in this business model were magnified and accelerated by the bubble economy in the late 80s, which finally made adjustment inevitable. It then took more than 10 years for businesses to adjust their over-leveraged balance sheets. Okay, so I'm wondering so the people in their 20s and 30s, it seemed like they have it better than the people in their 30s and 40s. And how more depressing is that to watch people younger than you thrive? Like they're like thriving and living their best life, and you in your mom's basement, like, man, that really sucks. So I'm wondering, what are they doing about it? At this point, when you reach your 40s and 50s, it's harder to get a job because jobs look at you as outdated. You're not up with the latest technologies and things like that. So I'm wondering what Japan is going to do, knowing that it's like 613,000 middle-aged people who can't find work. So I don't know. I just thought that was so daunting. Like, I've never heard of the lost generation, lost age, any of this. So I just thought it was kind of cool to bring it up because it was trending. So what do you think about it, Kristen? Oh, here we go. Never knew this about Japan. You learned something new. Right. I was just like, what do you mean it's over 600,000 people not working in their 40s and their 50s? Is that even unheard of here? Like, if we look at the unemployment rate here in the United States, let me see. In the United States, let's see, unemployment. Let me see. I'm not the best searcher. U.S. unemployment rate for middle. Oh my God. And I type for a living, right? U.S. employment rate for middle age. The heck? This is everybody. So age group. So the youth, I don't care about the youth. I'm trying to find out the older workers. There we go. So about 40% of people ages 55 and older were looking actively for work in 2014. Do we not have a recent one? Blah, 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 blah. So are these the ages? So labor force shares by age 1907 to 2014. So we see right here, 67%. It kind of flattened out there. So by 2024, the labor projects that labor force will grow to about 164 million. That number includes about 41 million people who will be ages 55 and older, of whom about 13 million are expected to be 65 and older. So it looks like this is more so talking about the retirement age, that we're just going to work longer. Because I think the retirement age is like 80, or somebody told me, or it's going to be 80. No, 80. No, I'm not. I just won't have a pension. I'll Uber or something. I'm not working at 80. That's down to the end of my life. So I think this is more so talking about the unemployment rate and the growth in labor. It's talking about the growth in labor force. So here in the United States, it looks like our younger people, it's like a lower rate. It's a negative 1.4, negative 0.8 for 45 to 54. But from 65 and older, it's projected that there are going to be more older people working. So what's going on here that's causing that to decrease? You know what I think it is? I think it's Uber. I think it's I don't even know what those are called. Like these what is it called? Share something jobs. I can't think of the name of it. Like Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Postmates, all these little app jobs or whatever, Amazons and all that. Like I think this is why it's going to be older people working in offices, because it's a new workforce. Like you see now, we're all working remotely now because of COVID. And I think that the longer that we're working from home, the more that offices are realizing that you don't need to physically be there. So it's changing the workforce, and younger people want that freedom, and there's more entrepreneurship with these online businesses are emerging. So for the traditional office work, it does make sense that it's going to be older people, because people my age are used to being in the office. But people under me are used to setting their own hours. They're not arrested to a desk all day, a 9 to 5. So these older businesses are going to have to find ways to to get the younger people in there, or they're going to just start hiring older, because they know that there's going to be a sense of loyalty for the older age group. So that actually does make sense now that I look at that. So what do you think about that, Kristen? So I mean, entrepreneurship is at a rise. Like every time I look, it's like a new office building. I mean, a new online business. So what is the recess? So 90% of online business fail within the first 4 months. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not going to do all that. I have to look more into it. But it's saying Asia has the highest percentage of internet. There are currently 4 billion long number of people that ultimate list of online statistics. Oh my God, this seemed like a long one. So right here, Asia has the highest percentage of internet users, followed by Europe, Africa, and North America. Wow, we don't even use the internet that much compared to other countries. The total number of websites on the internet is 1.9 billion. Google averages 40,000 searches every second. I believe it because I just did 40,000 in like 40 minutes, which equates to 1.2 trillion searches. Chrome is the most. Well, okay, this is off subject. This is interesting. 3.2 billion internet users are also internet social media users. And it's actually a good thing that people are investing in themselves and branching out, creating their own business. Yeah, that's true. What makes that hard though is like you have a whole bunch of leaders and no followers though. So if everybody is branching out and making their own business, who's working for who? You know, like how do you get someone to follow under you? If I want to be my own boss and Sally want to be her own boss, everybody down the line want to be their own boss, then help is going to be hard to find because everyone is working for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's a upside and it's a downside to that, in my opinion. You know, what do you think? Like, I feel like I feel like with anything, it's topsy-turvy. So yeah, man, I didn't mean to get this deep into this. Right. So like traditional businesses, like let's talk about banks, you know, schools, things like that, where you need support staff, you know, like basically support staff. So if everyone is open their own business and they like, screw your 9 to 5, I'm going to work for me, or I'm going to drive Uber, you know, or I'm going to deliver food or whatever else those shared jobs are, you know. So now the support staff is dwindling. And it looks like it's up to people in their 60s and their 70s to stay there. And so then if those people are support staff in their later years, then you're only looking of like, I mean, what is the life expectancy? So if you're ending work or retiring at 80, what is the life expectancy? I'm about to Google everything. What is this wheel? A life expectancy rate right now is 72 years. So you are liable to die while working. So you may never experience your retirement years. So that is why people are like, screw this. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to work for myself. But meanwhile, these older businesses have to get creative or more diverse or something. And I wonder if that's the reason why they started outsourcing. You know, like, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents, because that's what it is, 2 cents Wednesday. But that's just my 2 cents on that. So I don't know. I don't know what the older businesses are going to be doing, you know. And you said a lot of older people believe in staying at a job for years and years. They like the longevity of it. But these generations behind us, no. And I even think my generation is like, screw the 9 to 5. To be honest with you, I think millennials is kind of like, you know, so just imagine the rest of these generations, you know. So you might have, you know, some baby boomers and whoever is after baby boomers and us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have that three generations is going to work until they die. But I feel like the generation after millennials, they're not going to do that. They're not going to work until they die. I just don't see that, you know, even when they're older, because all these people are going to be entrepreneurs. And even if you can't, you know, get the career or the success that you want, I'll just drive Uber. You know what I'm saying? I'll just deliver food. So it's still people not flocking. They're flocking away, you know, from support staff jobs, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Because even with HR, you can outsource your HR person. You don't need to have a whole HR department anymore. Just one person. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So can you imagine them in their 70s, 80s? No, they living their best life. They're going to drive Uber and live their best life. That's what they're going to do. All right, so we got one more subject here, and then I'll let you go. But that was a great conversation. I didn't even know it was going to go that far. So this is also not a good subject, really. But I found it disturbing. So disturbing that I wanted to talk about it. But I'll be careful, because this is the church, and you got to be careful what you say. But the Church of England forgave pedophiles and allowed them to continue working with children. I'll just let that marinate. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, really? What? So, so the offenders are still allowed to work in the church after they've shown remorse, like after they went through some type of forgiveness thing. And I believe I went to a Catholic church, school, but I'm not Catholic. Yes, that's so creepy. And what makes it creepy is, okay, so now you're pretty much in the church with your offender. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, the victims, they're also shunned if they don't show forgiveness, because that's against religion, right? God wants us to forgive those that do us harm. So if you're offstandish and you don't forgive this person that violated you, you're at fault. But they're okay and they're forgiven because they apologize for this creepy behavior. I know. And like I said, I went to a Catholic school, but I'm not Catholic. But I know that there's a such thing as like confession of sins, and they don't even have a hell, I don't think, confessions of sins and things of that sort. So I guess the idea is, if you ask for forgiveness, then you can move on with life. So I don't know. It's really, really, really creepy. So like I said, this forgiveness is believed to compensate for this problem not being handled. Some victims were condemned, like I said, if they didn't forgive their perpetrator. So, like, this is a long article, but in this article, there was a reverend that was convicted in like 2014. He downloaded 8,000 indecent images of children. And it was suggested that he was misled by partaking in this. Like, it wasn't him. It was some outside or outlier or something that pushed him to do that. So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's okay. And the church is saying that they're committing, to introducing more oversight. But you can eliminate the whole oversight if you just don't allow them back, and I think it's kind of weird because, and forgive me if I misspeak, but I think that they are totally against homosexuality. So it's like, you would accept a pedophile and forgive a pedophile than a woman who would not perform an abortion, but have an abortion, or someone who is homosexual, or someone that divorced. But it's okay for a child violator to be forgiven and go back to work like nothing happened. No, it's not okay. It's so much wrong with that. And like I said, this is outside in, sorry if I'm misspeaking, but to my knowledge, I know those are main things, you know what I'm saying, that ostracize you and you're shunned from the church, but it's okay to violate someone and basically ruin their life. And as long as you say, and these confessions are confidential. So priests don't go to court. They don't have to testify against anyone that that confesses. So this is literally between the priest, God, and that person. And I do believe in God forgiving us for our sins. I do. I'm totally not against that. I do believe in God. I'm just thinking about those kids that have to like look at their perpetrator like all the time. That's no different than that, in the Black culture with the creepy uncle that touches all the girls, and you can't say anything. Like, everybody knows that he's creepy, but as long as he keeps saying he's sorry, or as long as it stay a quiet secret, it's okay. We're just gonna brush it under the rug and act like nothing's happening. Like, that's similar to me. Like, that situation is similar. Just deal with it type, thing. So I don't know. Like, I was really sad about this, and I was halfway not going to talk about this, but I was like, I just gotta, I just have to, So on Twitter, I don't even know what this link is. Oh, this is just the link to the the show, to the article. And this is basically people replies, shame on them, shame on the people who knew outside of the church and did nothing. A second wound for so many after healing from this betrayal. Right. It's like, okay, how do you heal if you're faced with your perpetrator all the time? Like, how do you heal? How do you heal? And everyone's like pretty much saying that it's disgusting, and almost, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, now I'm speechless. Like, I had a bunch of stuff to say about it yesterday, but then reading it again, it's just kind of like, I don't know. And you have to constantly be around a person who harmed you. Forgiveness is another thing, but constantly being around the person can trigger you. Right. That's like you hanging out with somebody that shot you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like straight kicking it with somebody who, I know you, it's a level, and you hear those stories of, people that forgive, victims that forgive their molester or whatever, but I don't think they're going to tea with them and, going to breakfast and brunch every Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, forgiveness is one thing, but it's still it's almost like you're healing and then it just scabs up. It keeps scabbing up. It never fully heal. So you have this sore, and every time you're around that person, now you pick at a scab. So every time there it goes. So every time you come across this person, it picks a scab, so the wound never heals. Like, I don't know. I just think, I think it's ridiculous. But like, I didn't want to start with this story, but I don't know if I should have ended with it either, because now it's kind of back on my mind. So I don't know. This is just not a light subject. So, yeah. God, man, I don't want to speak for him, but I just don't. I don't know. So, anyway, those are my subjects today. Did you have any subject that you wanted to share, Miss Kristen, before we get off? And I just want to thank anyone who stopped by or scrolled by and we'll say, right, exactly. They're never going to heal. They're never going to fully heal. And so I don't know. I don't know about that. So my heart goes out to those children and the children that were victims and grew older, like my heart really goes out to them. So yeah, so this was my first 2 Cent Wednesday. Yay! And if you did scroll across this and there is a link or a subject that you want me to cover, research, let me know. If you have a question, if you need advice, I'm not Dr. Phil, but I can always give you my 2 cents because that's what this is about, right? So don't forget to follow, subscribe, whichever platform you're on. Sharing is caring. Please share the video. And until next Wednesday, don't forget to be your own kind. Thank you, love. Thank you for being a part. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, everyone.